Good afternoon, everybody. Pigskin Pete here. Happy Tuesday to everybody. This is one of the most exciting weeks in football, off-season. At least one of the most exciting for me, and for all of you college football and NFL fans. Other than the draft, this merges them the best. So you get the meshing of two fan bases, whether you're an NFL fan or a college fan or both. And that is the Underwear Olympics and the NFL Combine, which will be taking place starting tomorrow all the way through the weekend. So for the next 5 days or so. Now, the way the NFL Combine works is they separate these into four different groups. So group 1, 2, and 3, they'll go first, and I think that starts tomorrow. And that'll be the offensive linemen, the running backs, and the special teams players. Then the next group is 4, 5, and 6 the day after that, and that'll be the quarterbacks, the wide receivers, and the tight ends. In other words, the skill position players on offense. And, of course, everybody's most entertained with wide receivers and quarterbacks mainly. They draw the most attention as far as the offense goes, obviously. Even though there's a lot of teams out there that aren't looking for quarterbacks and tight ends and wide receivers, they really need offensive line help. But just as far as the media is concerned, everyone's going to have their eyes on the quarterbacks, particularly Kyler Murray, Dwayne Haskins, and those guys. The next group is defensive linemen and linebackers, and then the last group is defensive backs, so cornerbacks and safeties. So that'll be happening, like I said, for the next 5 days or so. I'll be doing extensive coverage on the Combine, the Underwear Olympics. Listen, you can go back to last season. If you just type in the search bar for Pigskin Pete NFL Combine Underwear Olympics, and you can see my thoughts on the Underwear Olympics. I do think that there is something that's very compelling about it. I do think that it does have value. I also think it's highly overrated as far as evaluating players. Listen, we've got 3 years of college tape on almost all these guys. I know all of them didn't start for 3 years, and some guys have a lot more, game tape than others. But putting these guys in skin-tight underwear and, measuring how high they can jump and how far they can jump and how fast they can run the 40 and all that, that's all great, and it all makes for a great storyline. But it doesn't translate to what really happens on the field. It just doesn't. And you see players every year that skips certain drills. Like there's rumors this year that Kyler Murray won't throw. The only thing that people are concerned about with Kyler Murray is how tall is he going to be and how much is he going to weigh. And maybe his 40 time. But we've seen him throw the ball a million times already. You're not going to learn anything from watching him throw the ball in the Combine that you didn't learn from watching him throw the ball 400 times at Oklahoma. Or even back when he was at A&M. So it's just, I think it's overhyped. It is still exciting though, but I'll listen, there's plenty of time for that. But what I want to talk about today, and listen, you may have noticed, this is a football channel. I cover college football and NFL football extensively year round. You may have noticed, or maybe you haven't noticed because you don't care, whatever. I haven't done anything on the AAF. I haven't made one single video about it. People ask me about it in the chat. People ask me about it in the comments, and I pretty much avoid it. I give one-word answers and very vague answers. And the reason for that is I've been sitting back and just watching. I've been watching other YouTubers. I've been watching the media. I've been scouring Twitter. I've been scouring comment sections in my YouTube channel and others. And more importantly, I've been watching the AAF for the first 2 weeks before I came up with the... I don't want to say a conclusion because I still haven't made a complete conclusion on this. I think that my opinion on the AAF is probably in the minority. Now, I've seen people, other video makers out there that say they weren't too excited about the AAF whenever it first started, but now that they watched it a couple weeks, they're more into it and, they like it. And listen, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I don't feel that way at all. I just don't. I've been watching this, and I don't think the product is good at all. Now, I realize this is a new venture. Listen, here's the thing. So we had the XFL happen. I don't even know. How long ago was that? Like 10 years ago? Which was basically, that was a terrible product. Not only was the football bad, but the product was bad. They tried to make it like the WWE, and it just didn't work. And it went away pretty quickly. And so the XFL is actually scheduled to come back next year. And there's some rumors out there that the AAF and the XFL, first of all, they both are going to be 8-team leagues, for lack of a better term. And there's rumors out there that they're going to merge. Now, there's no two teams from each of the two different organizations, the XFL and the AAF, in the same city. So that makes perfect sense. So if they merge, you would have a 16-team league, and they would probably expand the amount of games that are played each week. Here's the thing, though. I don't care about the TV ratings, because the TV ratings for the week 1 of the AAF, everyone was saying they were through the roof. Okay, they outperformed the NBA, the best NBA games. And so everyone's saying this is a success, this is a hit. I just look at the play on the field. That's all I'm concerned about. Listen, we've got arena football, we've got Canadian Football League. There's all kinds of different, alternative football leagues that you can go, during the off season of the NFL and college football to get their football fixed. And nobody loves football more than I do. I watch it. I mean, listen, I'll watch it, but I'm going to be critical of it. And I realize there's a lot of video makers out there that are getting a lot of content out of the AAF. The TV stations are getting a lot of content out of the AAF. People love football. That's just the bottom line. It's the most popular team sport in America by a long shot, and that's the reason you're seeing the ratings be the way that they are. But I just look at the play on the field, and I'm less than impressed. Now, I realize it's a young league, and they probably still have some kinks to work out, and it's not like these teams have been playing with each other for years or even months in many cases. I mean, it was a very short sort of training preseason before they actually started. But the product just isn't good. It's just not good football. And I think that anything that's not a good product on the field is bad for the sport. That's the way I feel about it. And again, if you're one of these people that you're just happy to have football, and maybe you live in Atlanta, or maybe you live in Birmingham, or maybe you live in Texas, or one of the cities or states where these teams are played, maybe you have more of a little bit invested interest than I have, but it's not good. I mean, I don't have a problem with these players that didn't make it to the NFL trying to have a career for themselves. They love playing football. They want to make money. Some of them still have dreams of making it into the NFL via the AAF, and that's great. It's a capitalist society. It's a free society. If people are watching it and people are willing to pay to go watch, to see it, and advertisers are willing to pay to advertise for it, more power to all of you. But when I sit back and watch an AAF football game, it's not a good product. The football is terrible. It's really bad. And here's the old thing where people are like, let's say the past 10 years, you have some great Alabama teams. You can even put Clemson on that list this year. Maybe the Ohio State team from, 2014, or the Florida State team from 2012. Great, historically good college football teams in the past decade, right? And people say, they could beat the Browns, when the Browns were terrible, or they could beat the Lions, or whoever the worst team in the NFL is. They could beat them. And I'm always the first one to come out and say, you guys are morons. There's no way that Alabama's beating even the worst team in the NFL, not even by 3 touchdowns. They wouldn't have a shot, right? I really honestly believe that Alabama or Clemson or Ohio State or Oklahoma or, hell, probably any of the top 10 teams right now in the college football could beat the Atlanta Legends. And I'm not trolling Atlanta fans. I don't care. I'm just saying that's how bad they are. And there's no arguing how bad the product is. Each team, now some have more than others, but each team probably has like 2 or 3, maybe 4 legitimate star players that maybe could make a leap to the NFL. The rest of them just aren't that good. There's a reason they're not playing in the NFL. There's a reason they don't even have a spot on the practice squad in the NFL. Because it's not good. And I'm going to withhold judgment whether or not it's a bust or not. I will make a prediction, though. My prediction is that you're going to continue to see decent ratings, and that's all that really matters. Will people buy tickets? Will advertisers advertise? And will TV ratings sustain a profitable product for the TV networks? And of course the teams and the owners of the teams. I don't have a doubt that maybe that could happen based on the amount of money they're paying these players and the investment they have. It's all relative. You're not paying these players, $25 million a year like some star players in the NFL. So the overhead is a lot lower in the AAF. And so the profit margin, even though they're not going to have the ratings the NFL has, is still there. But I think it's just a matter of time. Unless something changes, unless the product on the field gets a lot better and the attendance at the games gets a lot better, I have a feeling that how am I going to put this? The novelty of this new league that everyone's interested in seeing, and everyone's starving for football during the offseason, I have a feeling the novelty is going to slowly wear away, and the ratings are going to go down, and the advertising money is going to go down, and the interest in the AAF as a whole is probably going to go down. Now, come next year when the XFL enters the picture, you may see another peak in interest in it, at least for the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season or whatever, because they're going to be comparing the AAF to the XFL, and there's going to be all kinds of hype around will they merge or not, and it's going to cause a lot of media attention, and media attention equals advertising dollars. That's what everybody's after. But is it sustainable? Is this a sustainable product that's going to last 5-10 years? And I would say no, it's not. Not unless something really changes. I'm a believer that how many players in the NFL? Like 3,000? These are the 3,000 best football players on the planet. The round planet, the flat earth, whatever planet you live on or think that you live on, these are the best players on it. And there's just not 10,000 elite pro players on the planet. There's only 3. And so you can't really spread it that thin. And this is what you get. And so I'll continue to watch the AAF, but my prediction is it's going to be a failure. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it gets better because, listen, nobody would love more than me to have a viable, entertaining, good product to watch during the spring as we're, during this long off season for college football and NFL football. Nobody would love that more than me. Right now, it's not there. It's not there. It's not good. Not only is it not good, it's really bad. It's almost unwatchable. If you know what you're watching and you want to watch elite play, it's just not there. I mean, look at the coaches. Now, listen, everyone loves Steve Spurrier, the head ball coach. He's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer. But Steve Spurrier, listen, come on, guys. There's a reason that he left the University of South Carolina in shambles. And it's because he's old. Yes, he's a great all-time coach. He's not a great coach anymore. And don't tell me because he has a good AAF team that somehow that means anything. It doesn't. Because look at who he's playing against. He's a great character. He's like a cartoon character at this point. But as far as coaching goes, is anybody taking this seriously with Steve Spurrier on the sideline? Or any of these other guys? These are all retired, washed-up coaches. And now you've got Bob Stoops coming out of retirement to be the general manager of the XFL team. Come on. It's too much. It's too much. And I don't like anything that's not good for the sport. And so far, this is not good for the sport. And I think it's only a matter of time before it goes away, maybe a few years, unless something drastically changes. So that's my opinion. Listen, I can already see the comment section on this. People disagreeing with me, saying that they think it's better than they thought it was going to be. And listen, whatever. Good for you. I'm telling you, I'm watching these football games and they're not good. So anyway, I'll be back this week, the next few days with NFL Combine stuff. And I got a lot of stuff to talk about with the Combine. So stay tuned. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Tell me I'm an idiot. Tell me I'm not an idiot. Whatever it is that you prefer to do, just make sure you do it. Have a great day. Pigskin Pete checking out.